Most PT owners don't realize they're leaving money on the table until it's too late. I know, because that was my story. What I discovered about measuring billing performance transformed our practice and has helped our clients all around the country. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do the same. Let me start with my story because it illustrates a mistake many practice owners make. When we owned our clinics, we discovered our outsourced billing company wasn't doing a great job. They were leaving money on the table. We weren't getting paid everything we should have been. We faced a choice: find another billing company to outsource to, or bring it in-house and learn how to be experts at PT billing and billing management. We looked at other billing companies, but honestly, we couldn't find one we felt 100% confident would get us paid everything we were owed long term. Some required massive amounts of work just to become a client, with spreadsheets and data analysis, and others had questionable track records. And we knew enough to avoid the large national billing companies with bad reviews about customer service. So we decided to bring it in-house and figure out how to do billing excellently, how to measure, how to hit all the KPIs, build the team, create the systems, and develop the training. My biggest regret is that I hadn't learned how to analyze our outsourced billing company earlier. Had I known what to measure, we would have discovered much sooner that they weren't meeting expectations, and we would have made far less losses because of it. This is crucial. Whether you have an outsourced billing company you're unsure about or an in-house team, you must be able to measure performance quantifiably. Why? Because 90% just isn't good enough anymore. Most billing companies operate at less than 90% of expectation. But even at 90%, they're leaving 10% of your gross revenue on the table. For many clinics, that's their entire profit margin. While our best performing clients are hitting 15 to 25% profit margins, if you're at 10 to 15% and your billing company is leaving 10% on the table because they're only performing at 90%, you essentially have no profit. And it's not worth being in business for no profit. There are several other reasons why measuring billing performance is critical. First, write-offs can kill your business. If you don't know they're writing claims off, that alone can jeopardize your practice's health. You need to ensure they're not writing off anything they shouldn't. Second, if they're not addressing denials quickly, it can lead to huge losses. Let's say your front desk didn't get an authorization right, and that happens all the time. You're treating the patient, assuming everything's fine. A denial comes through after a couple of weeks, indicating no authorization. But if they don't work that claim and you don't know about it, you'll keep treating that patient. You probably won't get paid, and those losses keep growing. Multiply that across multiple cases with front desk errors, and the losses become dramatic. Third, even the best staff can have blind spots. They might be great people doing their best, but maybe there's something they don't know about the software, or a reason they're missing certain claims. Maybe they don't know the exact expectation. Perhaps a staff member has dropped the ball and no one knows. Without proper auditing, these issues remain hidden. Finally, some billing software makes it tough to find inefficiencies. When there's too much automation happening under the hood, things get missed, like claims paid by primary insurance not being forwarded to secondary, or auto-posted payments with incorrect line items. Unless you're auditing these things, you'll miss opportunities for increased payments. So how do you measure your PT billing department's performance? I'll be honest, it's not simple, and it takes more than 5 minutes. Every PT I know is busy. We can do this analysis for you, but if you have your own billing team, you should do this at least quarterly. So there are two components to this. There are quick monthly measures and then a deeper quarterly dive. Let's start with the monthly measures. First, ensure there are no unauthorized write-offs. Make sure you have access to see write-offs and that your team can't do write-offs without your visibility. Then measure two key metrics every month: the 120 plus percentage and the ARC ratio. The 120 plus percentage is the percentage of your AR, not including auto and attorney claims, that's over 120 days old. This should be less than 10%, approximately 5% patient and 5% insurance. If it's below 10% and there are no unauthorized write-offs, well, that's a good sign. The ARC ratio measures the speed of payment. Take your total accounts receivable, not including auto and attorney, and divide it by the average of your last 3 months' charges, also excluding auto and attorney. This should be less than 0.8. For smaller clinics, or those with limited payer profiles, it could be under 0.5. Track your AR by bucket every month and graph it. Picture a bar graph where each bar is a month, with different colored sections showing aging buckets, 0 to 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, 90 to 120, and 120 plus. If your ARC ratio is too high, above 1.0, or your 120 plus is above 10%, you want to see these bars decrease over time, ideally in the 60 plus buckets, not the 0 to 60 bucket usually. Now, for the quarterly deep dive, every claim should be worked at least every 30 days until resolved completely. By worked, I mean taking the next logical step toward resolution. Look at about 20 claims that are over 60 days old, maybe 10 insurance and 10 patient. These might span several months. Check that the notes tell a clear story of what's happened with that claim and why it's not paid yet. Some payers, especially workers' comp, can be incompetent, unethical, or even illegal in their practices. You need to see documentation of submission dates, follow-ups, discoveries about wrong addresses, all those things. And you want to know what the next step is every time. You want to make sure that every step there is an intelligent response. You want to make sure that you're getting email responses from the insurance companies. And if you're not, you should be seeing phone calls. If phone calls aren't working, escalate to supervisors. These notes should show progressive action on every claim. Now rate these claims. If 18 of 20 were handled excellently, well, that's 90%. It's good. It's not good enough. You're gonna aim for 100%. Train staff on the deficiencies and improve systems to address gaps. Also, track front desk errors that result in delayed or denied payments. Document these and train your staff accordingly. We send our clients monthly reports showing front desk errors in 2 categories: delayed payment and lost money write-offs. Most clients have some deficiencies in insurance verification, authorization, or authorization tracking, but unless you're looking at this every single month, you can't get these errors to 0. For patient balances over 60 days, verify the process. A statement's being sent? Are calls being made? After 2 to 3 statements, is there a final demand notice? Do you send a 1099-C threat for possible IRS debt? Is collections involved? As long as the right action is taken monthly, even if the claim eventually goes to collections, well, that's 100% performance. Review all 0 pays to ensure they're being addressed. Also, randomly check 20 paid claims from non-flat fee payers to verify that no unpaid line items were ignored. Some payers, like Humana, for example, might not pay for therapeutic activity for no good reason sometimes, it seems. Your team needs to fight these unpaid items, not just write them off. Take all these metrics, create a percentage score of success, and consider incentivizing your billing team for 100% performance. When errors occur, analyze the cause and improve systems, processes, staff training, or even software accordingly. If you find you're performing at 50%, don't panic. With good management, incentives, and positive reinforcement for improvement, you can see significant improvements in your 120 plus and in your income and in your accounts receivable, even within 90 days. If this becomes overwhelming, we can review your billing platform and give you a performance assessment at no charge. And if we're handling your billing, we're doing these audits internally to ensure excellence. Your practice's financial health depends on excellent billing performance. Take the time to measure these metrics and make improvements. Your profit margin and your peace of mind depend on it.